Recently, one of my sons and I took a trip to the Northern California coast, and somebody very graciously loaned us their GoPro. I thought after the trip that would be a very handy camera device to have for the different type of YouTubes I put together, and I started doing some online research. I found that the SJCam is highly rated and also costs a lot less than a GoPro. I ordered one from Amazon, and today's the day I'm going to put it through its paces. One of the mountings went by the rearview mirror of my Jeep, and that's what we're using right now to record as we go down the road on a very beautiful California winter day. After recording from the inside of my vehicle for a while, I decided to use one of the mounts that came with the kit and mount my camera on the back of the Jeep at the top of my high lift jack, so I could get a view over the Jeep down the road ahead. I think it was a great view, except I rather irritated myself. I realized afterwards that I put it in a portrait orientation instead of a landscape orientation. The different modes of mounting the camera give all sorts of possibilities, really only limited by the user. And since it's my first day to really use this camera, my experience so far is a bit limited. A waterproof housing was one of the items that came in the kit with this action camera. I was really interested in heading to the California State Fish Hatchery at Moccasin, which we're driving into right now here, to try to take some underwater pictures of the fish. Moccasin's Fish Hatchery, California State Department of Fish and Game Fish Hatchery, is located next to a big plant with the Hatchery water and power system. It provides electricity and drinking water to the citizens of San Francisco, over 100 miles to the west from here. This is what the waterproof housing looks like, and I was very anxious to try it out and get some underwater pictures close up to the trout that are raised at the hatchery. Well, the rules prohibited contact with the water or the fish in most of the containers there, but the personnel at the hatchery said there was one small group of minnows that was all right for me to get underwater with the camera and take some pictures of. It's a mixture of species of little minnows in this trough. Brown trout, golden trout, some other types of trout are in this trough. As you watch the video here, I don't know what you're thinking. I thought it was exceptionally clear viewing underwater of these minnows. The only problem I had was that the Wi-Fi connection between my iPhone and the camera was lost after being underwater just a couple of inches. However, the camera did continue to take the video, so I was able to download it after the camera came up out of the water. Well, we tried the camera going down the highway, and we tried it underwater, and we tried it up above the car, looking forward over the hood of the car as we drove down the highway. Now we're going to try it on some trails. These are not exceptionally rough trails, but I wanted to check the stability of the visuals that we got off the camera, of the videos, of the moving pictures. And so we went on some dirt roads that are between Moccasin, California and Coulterville, California. These are areas that go back into mine claims. A lot of them are still worked, a lot of them are still kept up and somewhat active, and you can see markers for the different mine claims as you go back in here. Haven't ever been in these roads, didn't know what to expect. Most of them dead-ended after going on for half a mile or 3/4 of a mile. One of them we actually went back in here a full mile, and other than a few piles of garbage and some fellas in pickup trucks that had gold pans down along the creek, we really didn't see much activity. But the camera held up well, and the stability of the videos came out acceptable in my opinion. This sports or action camera also has a microphone, so it picks up noise from inside the vehicle and road noise and so forth. You can turn it off if you'd want to. I figured I wouldn't worry about it, I would just delete the audio afterwards. One thing I was surprised at is that I heard myself humming as I drove along these dirt roads. Apparently I was having a great time. I couldn't quite make out what song I was humming, but it surprised me. I wasn't aware that I had that habit, but the camera and the microphone apparently don't lie. Well, it's about time to turn around. There's a junk pile up ahead here. The brush is continuing to close in on the path, and I'm just scratching the Jeep up. Doesn't really look like there's anything too exciting up ahead, so let's turn around. Well, one of the mounts that can go around, say, a bicycle handle or some such thing, I got the bright idea to put it on the end of a broom handle. And I thought, what's it going to look like if I hold this camera some 4 feet, or maybe it was 5 feet, outside the Jeep window and actually take a picture of the wheels and take a picture of the trail as we go. So let's take a look at what that kind of a view looks like. I find it interesting to see the wheels of the Jeep going over rocks and different obstacles. Then here at the top of this hill, we're going to lift it up above the Jeep and take a picture as we go down the dirt road. This dirt road, by the way, was a logging railroad at one time. Well over 100 years ago was put in. And of course the rails are long gone, and now it's a dirt path. Well, I guess I've done just about everything I wanted to do with this camera so far, except one more thing. I love going through puddles and mud like most guys that have grown up from being little boys. And so it's time to try this waterproof housing on some good old-fashioned Jeep mudding and water crossings. Not a lot of rain this winter in California, so our local creek is a little bit low on water, but still there's enough there to give it a try. SJCam, I think it's a good value. For the price, the quality that you get, I like it. And there's a very easy to use app that gets the pictures to your phone. You can control the camera by remote control, and you can download the images when you're done. If you're enjoying outdoor activities, sporting activities, and you're looking for this type of action camera, I'd consider it.